Are you ready? It's time for Kid Got Your Ticket podcast. Listen, let's have some fun. Enjoy.
3, 2, 1. All right, guys. So welcome back to Kid Got Your Ticket. Today on the podcast, we got my good friend, Vinny Chorens. And welcome, dude. Thanks for coming on. I've been meaning to ask you this for a while to come on the podcast. I know we have a lot to talk about, being that you're a martial artist like myself. I mean, you know that we've kind of trained together in the past as well, right? Through jiu-jitsu and through other aspects and stuff. And I've seen you compete a couple of times. So, man, what's up, dude? How you been, man? What's going on?
I've been good, man. You know, just taking it day by day. You know, like everyone else. You know.
How's this pandemic been treating you with your training and all?
Honestly, you know, I ain't gonna lie. You know, a lot of people may seem like, you know, they can't they stay in the house or anything like that, or stay by themselves. You know, get in contact. Lately, I just been training privately. I haven't been going to classes because, you know, the whole pandemic and the funds. You know, like it took a big effect on me. But I'm still training, still kicking, man.
Good. You know what? I think it's got to be a martial artist kind of thing, because we can be on our own. Like, we don't have, even though we enjoy being with a lot of people, training in martial arts schools and doing you know, and interacting with other people, but I think we can kind of bring ourselves down to that mental state, and shit like this doesn't really affect us as much, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I feel like it's more of a mental thing. And like you said, like for martial arts is like a different, to me, it's like a different breed compared to, like, you know, other athletes, you know? And I don't even consider myself an athlete, you know? It's like you said, man, I'm a martial artist. I'm here for the long run, you know?
You're an artist,
And
yeah, because I have a sensei that he tells me a lot, that he goes, especially when we're training, he goes, here's where sport, like when you're freaking dying and your legs are hurting, or you're doing a technique and you just can't give up, or you feel like giving up, he goes, here's where sport ends and here's where martial art begins.
Exactly.
You know, but I see a lot of jiu-jitsu schools still running classes, man. Like, to me, it's scary. I get it. And I support them 100% because more power to them, you know, but it's scary, man. You know, have you been rolling? Have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I've been training jiu-jitsu, but not like consecutively like how it was before COVID. You know, not like y'all be here 2 days, you know, 2 days at a training session 2 times. You know, but yeah, I haven't been going often. I just been, like I said, been doing private classes with just like one of my corner man. He's also my trainer. You know, I just been doing it with him, not like a group class. It's like a one-on-one kind of thing, you know.
Okay, well, you know what? That's how most elite fighters really train, though. Anyway, nowadays, they're not really joining in regular classes. They're training one-on-one with a specific coach. Now, I mean, you have to cross train, of course. You do train, you know, striking and jiu-jitsu and wrestling like that. But do you have a different coach for each specialty right now, or you just
honestly, like I used to, you know how I used to train with Buyo. I mean, I train with Buyo, but not like how I used to, you know, like, because I started seeing like, because my first fight, you know, it was perfect, you know, it went by perfect. The second fight, that's where I kind of lost my touch, I guess, you know, I guess because, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of took the fight lightly in a way. I'm like, oh man, I got this, you know, and then, you know how it is.
That confidence, right? That confidence gets to you, right?
Overconfident, you know. So it backfired on me. So that's when I started, you know, I talked to, you know, Ray. So I would talk to Ray about it. And Ray was telling me, man, you got to be training at an MMA school, you know? You can't be just training at a jiu-jitsu school. I'm like, man, you know what? That's right, man. You know, like, he made sense.
That makes 100% sense.
Yeah, man, because you got to think about it. Like, yo, in MMA, you know, you don't really got a gi, you know, and then you know how it is. We train in gi. I don't mind the gi. I love the traditional jiu-jitsu.
Of course.
But if it's for something that, you know, I want to do, you know, for a long time, I have to transition myself. So I'm over at Freedom Fighters. It used to be ATT Kendo, but I'm with Freedom Fighters, where you all used to train, Alex Caceres, you know, big names that you probably know right now, you know?
Yeah. Really? Man,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I've been to one of your fights. I went to one of your fights over there up in Fort with 305 fights, I think it was.
Oh
Up
yeah,
in
no, I was supposed to fight with them, but um, I had a falling out with the guy. I don't know what, I love, I have respect for everyone. If he doesn't
yeah.
like me, that's him. But I don't know. I don't know he has no respect for me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna lose it with 305 fights. And if the opportunity comes again, I'll take it. No hard feelings on my side.
You had a good fight that time, man. I took my wife. We went up there. It kind of had that arena kind of feel because people were able to hang out on top and look down on the cage.
Oh yeah, that was combat night.
Combat night, yes.
Yeah,
So
that's the
that's
shirt
right.
I'm wearing right now.
That's the shirt you're wearing right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
there for that fight, man. You did great, bro. Like I
Thank you,
didn't get a
thank you.
chance to talk to you because you were in your mental state and stuff, and I didn't want to take anything
Yeah.
away, but because I understand. But yeah, man, I was there, man. I was fucking cheering, bro. Up in the stands, man. It was great, and you won that night, 100%.
Yeah.
You did one. Now, how many fights have you had in MMA already?
MMA, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably like I'm 4-2, so it'll be 6 fights in total.
6 fights in total, man.
Yeah.
How many years have you been doing it now? Like since
Huh?
you started? How many years?
Like competing wise or
MMA without, because I know you've competed in other stuff, but just like in cage fighting.
cage fighting, man. I started back in 2013. I wasn't in
2013.
consecutive, continuously on it
Yeah.
because I was so confused of how the journey was supposed to be. Instead of
Yeah.
because I was having fun with it.
Yeah, you're having a
So I
good
was
time.
like, yeah, I wasn't really thinking about doing it as a career until like I got over to freedom fighters. And like, yeah, I've been doing it since 2013. I had a friend of ours, he trained with us on the Buyu. His name was JC Leon. He was getting into, we would spar a lot, and I wasn't really thinking about fighting. He was fighting already, so
Yeah.
he was telling me, hey, Saku, why don't you get into a fight? You're scrappy, like you know how it is. You don't give a damn. You just keep going,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, I don't know. I'll think about it. And then it got to a point where he convinced everyone in the gym to tell me, hey, yo, do it, man. You're like, yo, you have what it takes, Like I'm like, I guess, and my parents was like, yeah, push forward for it. Maybe this is something you like to do it.
So you had the support from everyone then.
Yeah. I had so much support. Like it's like one of those things where you feel like you don't have support, but then you do have the support.
Yeah.
It was like one of those things. I was a lost kid, man. So like I didn't know what life was, and so I still don't. I'm still learning like
Well,
everyone
who the
else.
hell knows, man? Nobody really knows. I'm still lost, dude.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm in my 40s. So
Yeah, you only look your age, man. I'll tell you that.
thanks. Hey, because the martial arts, dude. If I tell you every martial artist I come across, they just stay young. I don't know if it's so many kicks or punches to the head or what it is, but we just kind of remain that zen-like, all that breathing
Yeah,
that
no,
we do.
definitely.
Now, I know you didn't grow up in Florida, right?
No, I didn't grow up. I grew up here. I started growing up here like around like when I was 13. I lived in
13.
Los Angeles for most of my life, and then
Huh.
I
You
moved to Vegas where my brother was born. And then I think when I got to Florida, that's when my martial arts career started to begin.
now have you done martial arts even when you were out there in California? Oh no, well you said it started to begin here, right? But did
No,
you do any
not
martial arts
really.
out there?
I had martial arts out there, but I wasn't in an academy or anything. I had like my dad. He was a former Marine, so he'll teach me some like, combative stuff. My grandfather, he was I mean, he didn't really box in Cuba, but he did train in boxing. And my mom was a Muay Thai. Well, she wasn't really a Muay Thai fighter. She practiced Muay Thai back in those days.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, so like, I had like a lot of backgrounds for for
So
fighting.
the fighting is in your blood, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck, man. Now, where in LA did you grow up in? Which part of LA?
South Central.
South Central, man.
Yeah,
Tough neighborhoods, man.
yeah, definitely. That's probably what shaped me.
That's
Like,
probably what shaped you. Hey, man, I grew up in a tough neighborhood myself. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I'm not from
oh
Florida
yeah,
either. So I'm from Brooklyn, but South Central. Like it's got fame for it.
yeah,
So
yeah. A
you,
lot of those rappers, they make it, excuse my language, too gangster.
yeah. But now, is it like what you see on? Because I've never been there. I mean, I'm from the East Coast. You're from the West Coast. But is it like what they show on the videos and stuff like that, like in South Central? Is it
Honestly,
like
part of my
that?
childhood I can't remember, but like I remember seeing, like, what I can remember the most is seeing, the Mexican gangsters, the vatos,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you had your gang members sticking outside, people selling drugs on the corner streets and stuff, but yeah, I don't remember much. I just remember seeing and hearing certain things. But when I went back with my dad to LA again back in 2016, and I looked at the neighborhoods that he used to work in, and then the neighborhoods that I grew up in, and I'm like, man, this shit's just like the movies, man.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you left when you were young, but even at a young age, you kind of fall into it, like I kind of did. I kind of fell into that whole street vibe because I grew up and, man, I would come out my apartment building and there would be freaking junkies in front and crackheads selling us VCRs and stuff like that. And I would see people shooting up as I'm on my way out. Now, I had martial arts to keep me out of a lot of shit, right? But I know you were young, but how did you manage to just kind of stay out of it? Because you're not a gang banger or anything like that.
No, not at all. But how I stayed out of it, honestly, I gotta thank my family, because like they raised me on a good path. My dad wasn't just my dad, you know what I mean? Like he was like I said, he was a former Marine, so like my dad was my dad, but at the same time, he was my drill instructor. You know what I mean? Like my dad always had this thing on me that if I ever like came out of line, he's like, I'm not your friend, I'm your father. You treat me like your father, you can't treat me like your friends. Like how I talk, to my friends, I can't talk to my dad. It's just that boundary of respect.
Yeah, and I think what that you just made a good point. Your father was a Marine, and coming from that background, they tend to guide you in the right way.
Definitely.
Just because they have that mindset, they have that drilled inside their head of respect, of being proud, of being of what you do. You don't want to do things that are not going to make you proud, and martial arts kind of has that as well. Because when you do something or you gain another belt, you automatically get proud, man. Whether it's a blue belt, a purple belt, a brown belt, and stuff like that. So you must be happy with the win from LA right now. LA has two.
Definitely.
Has the Lakers
and
man,
the freaking Dodgers. Definitely, man. I ain't gonna lie. I fell off of basketball. Like once Kobe retired, because Kobe was like my main idol. And like I liked going for Kobe, even though like it was a time when when LeBron came to the Heat. The Heat and the Lakers were going head to head. Everyone's going for Heat. Man, I was like still riding with the Lakers.
Still riding with the Lakers.
Yeah, no matter what.
So you always rode with the Lakers, no matter what.
Oh yeah, man! I wish I could post a picture right now. I have a picture of me when I was a little kid, like a little itty bitty baby, like 5 years old. I was rocking Laker gear, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom had me in Laker gear.
Really? So that was in your blood. Awesome.
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. Like sometimes I still watch like I'll see a picture of Kobe Bryant and I still can't believe he's gone.
Yeah, I can't believe it at all. Like when I heard it, I was like, nah, man, like nah, this is probably fake news, man, fake news.
And it's funny because for us, everybody's gonna know where they were. Like when the World Trade Center happened, well, you were probably young back when the World Trade Center happened. But when Kobe died, like everybody's gonna remember where you were. I was there. Or I was I was coming out of a karate tournament up in Spring Hill, Florida, and I was driving down and we stopped at a gas station, and then I got a message on my phone that said Kobe Bryant helicopter crash. I'm like, oh shit, but I never would have thought that he would be dead. And then the news broke. It's like,
that's crazy, man. Like dude, when my dad, I remember I was moving stuff around because I was helping my girlfriend move from like one place to another, and I was helping with the boxes. Next thing I get a text message from my dad saying Kobe Bryant is dead. I look at it, I'm like, nah, no way. I was like, you know what? Let me Google this real quick. I'm like, nah, I have to figure out if this is real or not. And then it comes out everywhere. I'm like, holy God, man, that's crazy. I still can't believe it.
Is that I'm starting to realize a lot that a lot of the things you say turn into reality, whether they're good or bad. Like the universe doesn't understand what you meant by it. So you got to be very careful how you say it.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
And I think when Kobe was in college, I think he told McGrady, I think is his name. He's another basketball player, right?
Okay.
And he told him, I want to die young so I can live as a legend. I assume that mindset changed on him once he had kids and once he got married and stuff. But you can look it up, right? And he actually says something like that when he was young. And look, man, fucking 42 years old, gone, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I still can't. Yeah, he was very young, man. Very young guy.
42 years old, man. You're not even half. I mean, if you're gonna live to 100, which most people don't, but 50 will be halfway point.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
And 42 is not even there, man. That's crazy. And he was, and supposedly he was the happiest ever. But for him, flying a helicopter is something so normal. It's like you jumping in a car and riding around. Like he would go to the parade of champions in the helicopter. Like he would go out to restaurants in a helicopter. So for him, it was just something he did every day, you know?
Yeah, it was a norm for him. I always wondered like how that happened. Like, I know some people are not into it because sometimes I kind of think like certain, like when it comes to certain events, I feel like there's like a conspiracy theory behind it. Not necessarily that conspiracy theories are true, but still, it's a possibility.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
that's why
course,
it's
there's
called.
always a possibility. You know, if you wasn't there, you can only go by what the news or what other people tell you.
Exactly.
And they're always going to turn the story around a little bit to make it sound either more interesting, the media, or the person you're hearing it from, just so you can listen to them more. But conspiracy theory or not, man, I mean, he's freaking gone and his daughter's gone. Like that's freaking nuts, man.
That's the saddest part ever, man. The daughter didn't even give to live her full life.
Man, fucking crazy, man. 42 years old. I can't believe
man.
it. Now, are you? I know that some of the biggest fans in the world are Dodgers fans. Are you a Dodgers fan too, or a Marlins fan?
Oh man,
I don't think anybody's a Marlins fan.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really into like the whole sports thing, but I do go for a home team. Like I haven't watched like baseball. I'm not gonna lie, since the Florida Marlins have won the championship. I think it was like back when I was in middle school, man.
Fuck, the Florida Marlins won when we got here to Florida.
Yes.
I think it was 2003 when they won.
I think it was around that time, 2003, 2004, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and I was like, holy shit, they won. Of course, at that point, I was always rooting for the Yankees and for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Fucking Knicks, man. They always let me down.
I always hear that, man. I always hear that things about the Knicks. I used to be a Yankee fan myself. I used to love the Derek Jeters. I forget the other guy's name, man. I can't remember his name.
Mariano Rivera, the pitcher.
Yes, Rivera. Yeah.
Mariano Rivera, the pitcher that he was a closer. That the minute anybody saw him come in, they were okay. That's it. Game's over. And they knew what he was gonna throw. He was gonna throw that freaking fastball straight down the middle. Go for it. Try to hit it.
You know, I used to like too. He's an Asian guy, man. Forget his name. They used to call him Godzilla or something like that.
Yes. I can't remember. I cannot remember his name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Exactly who you're talking. Yeah, man. The Yankees have had good stuff. One of my favorite teams were of course, because they won. Of course, you're gonna like a team better when they win. But in my age was the '86 Mets. When they had Darryl Strawberry and Gary Carter and all these old-time guys. And I was in New York, and that's when being a Mets fan was really cool. And then it kind of changed into the Yankees. And then after that, I got into basketball. And then after that, which I suck at basketball. Like, if I'm ever playing basketball, man, don't ever pick me to be on your team. Dude, honestly, I suck. Like, I'm horrible at it. I have good defense. I have good defense, I think, because of karate. Like, I can try to...
Yeah, you just use like little certain moves.
Smack the ball quick. I got good hand-eye coordination. But when it comes down to, like, shooting and stuff, dude, man, I can't... Dude, and my ups are horrible as well. Like, I barely touch the backboard. Like, trying to hit it. I'm just... And I'm a Latino, so, height doesn't really help me out too much on that aspect.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you're saying. I got that Hispanic and Asian in me, so man, I'm just a midget when it comes to playing basketball, man.
Yeah, man. There's not but shit. Jeremy Lin did pretty freaking good for the Knicks.
Yeah, it's true, and he's a short guy too, man. He just knows how to move. He has
like
a
6
technique
feet
going on.
6 feet? Right? He's like 6.
Yeah,
he's
somewhere on there.
Yeah, man. Now going back to fighting, are you planning on any fights in the near future to go ahead and fight again?
Honestly, man, I can't wait to 2021, honestly, because right now I've just been like, I just been saving up cash. That way I can have all my training sessions in line, because, I'm not like all these other athletes that have it good,
Yeah, man. And or they're getting sponsored. Were you ever sponsored or at any point?
It was a thing where I thought I was. I
Oh
don't think I
shit.
was. I thought I was,
They
but
told you
no.
you're gonna be sponsored, motherfuckers.
I was like, this is new. I'm like, this is pretty cool, I guess. Like, no, I wasn't sponsored though. I ain't gonna lie. I was trying to get in with Breakpoint, but Ambassador, I thought I was like, I'm like, oh shit, I'm representing Breakpoint, but Ambassador, I thought it was the same thing, like like the Ambassador of England or something, but nah, you're just a representative, man. You still have to pay for this stuff.
Oh man. Oh
I
man.
wish, man.
Well, dude, I can't wait to see you fight again because I know you're passionate about it, and I enjoyed your fights. Like I enjoyed the fight, man, and I saw some of the clips that you would put on Facebook and stuff like that, dude. And I am a fight fan, regardless. Now,
Yeah.
now since we're both fight fans, we got a good fight coming up November 28th. We have two old dudes,
Oh, yeah.
Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. Uh, who you got your money on, man, on that one?
Man, honestly, man, because I like both,
I
man.
love them both. I
I'm not
fucking
gonna
love them
lie,
both.
man. I like both, but
Both were my favorite fighters of all time. Tyson was my favorite fighter, of course, growing up and seeing him fight, and they used to be spectacles. But then Roy Jones Jr., he was just an artist. Like
yeah,
he's not
yeah.
the Mike Tyson. Like Mike Tyson would go in there and try to knock your head off. Roy Jones Jr. too, but he would do it with boxing finesse. You
Yeah,
know?
yes. I know what you're talking about. He's like, I don't know, in my opinion, man, he's like today's like Conor McGregor, like he had a style, like he had this like if you
And
put a
that leaping
silhouette
left
on
hook,
him,
right?
exactly. If you put a silhouette on him and he does this like shadow boxing or he just fighting, man, it's Roy Jones.
You know,
For sure.
yeah, he's got a special vibe to him, a special style to him that nobody else can imitate. And that
Exactly.
left hook, man, is incredible, dude. Now, all right, so I want to see the fight, but I don't want to see the fight, and I'll tell you why, right? Because now, if you're 18 years old, right, and you stub your toe, you're gonna recover from that stub toe really, really fast.
Definitely,
But
yeah.
if you're 50 years old and you stub your toe, that pain is going to linger on for a lot longer. So getting hits to the head at that age,
Yeah, it's
or
kind
if
of
they
risky,
get
man.
knocked out, is going to take them a lot longer to recover, you know? And
Yeah.
and I think what people are forgetting is this. Like we all know Mike Tyson was a beast, right? And he had this time frame where he was an unstoppable force, the baddest dude on the planet. And we had that, and then unfortunately, he went to prison and he did all this and that, and then he came back. He came back out of prison. He kind of had a run, but then, does anybody remember his last fight? Like his last fight, dude. He sat down on the ring and gave up.
Yeah. It was like
Like,
what against like Buster Douglas or something like that, right?
well, he got knocked out by Buster Douglas, but after that, way after that, he had a couple of more fights. He won like two, but then he fought this other dude, and I can't remember his name. I believe it was in '05, '04 or '05. And he fought this other dude, and the guy outboxed him to the point where Mike Tyson literally sat on the floor on the ring, and he just couldn't get back up. He was just there.
Yeah.
He wasn't knocked out, but he was on the floor just giving up. Like I think that tenacity or that that mentality to try to go and knock somebody's head off, it's no longer there. I think Tyson now is a nice guy.
Yeah. No, he's definitely a different type of guy now. But from what I remember, I think I did like, when I was like, I was intrigued by Tyson at a young age. When I would like, YouTube was like popping up, I would like search things on Tyson, watch his highlights, and watch like certain storylines. And I see that, was his coach, Customato.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that he took him in, and and like it wasn't just his coach, it was like his father. So I feel like when he lost Customato, it was like a mental breakdown on himself. He tried to hold himself strong on the outside. On the inside, it must have been killing him. So I feel like when he lost him, he didn't have the same training when he had with Customato.
Yeah, man.
So I feel like that definitely had an effect on him. But yeah, man, I guess we'll see how he is, at age 50, man. He looks like a beast still, like
Oh
I wouldn't
man,
want to get hit by that guy.
I would know, but I don't think I think the punching power would never go away. I just think it's the will because when you go into a cage or into a ring to fight somebody, you got to have that mentality, man. You just can't go in there and be like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to try to go through this and see how it goes. It's not going to end up good for you, you know?
Yeah,
And if you don't have that killer instinct anymore inside, he may pretend he has it. I hope I'm wrong, but Roy Jones Jr., he's been fighting, man. He's been active. He hasn't been fighting here in the United States, but he's been fighting out in Russia. Okay. So he's been very active in the ring, and he can fight. And actually, I saw an interview with Roy Jones Jr., and he said, when they first gave me the fight and they told me that in 6 weeks we would fight, I was like, yeah, man, I'm going to beat him easily, because he knew Mike Tyson hadn't been fighting or training, right? But now he goes, well, now because of marketing and of dates and all this and all that, they've postponed the fight, like, because it was supposed to happen, if I believe, late September, October, and now they moved it over to late November. Now they've given Mike Tyson a whole lot more time to actually train.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you seen this man's body now? Holy
shit!
He looks. Dude is
I
ripped.
think. Yeah, I seen it. You know, they put like, I think I saw like one of these Instagram stories where he put like a little slideshow, and they had Tyson on one side at age 50, and then he got Roy Jones at age 50. It's nuts, man. That's like, man, 50 looks like the new 30 in my opinion. You know,
I think nowadays with the recovery techniques they have, and the new sports science they have, and how to treat the body better, I think the body can recover a lot quicker to when back in the days when you would just kind of only put ice and that was it. Like now you have, cryotherapy, and you have, CBD oils, and you have, or whatever crazy stuff they have access to that the normal folk like you and me don't have access to. Those guys have the best.
They got the whole team behind them.
Yeah, man, these guys, and they're worth money. They're worth a lot of money. So they want to make sure that this fight, they both go in there at tip-top shape so they can produce the most money possible. So technically, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. become an investment. So you have, if you're gonna, if you buy a nice house, you want to take care of it because that's your investment. If you buy a car, that's your investment. You want to keep it nice and neat. Same thing with the boxer. You want to keep them nice and neat. What'd you think of the Gaethje Khabib fight? Did you see it going that way?
It's funny. I had because me and my cousin, we bet. I'm not gonna lie, me and my cousin bet fights a lot on each other.
All right.
But he was going for Gaethje. He's like, nah, Gaethje's gonna take out Khabib. You saw what he did to Tony? I'm like, yeah, but that's Tony, man. Khabib was like a different animal in my opinion. Khabib, look, you gotta look at his record, man. He's a top. He's always finishing fights, man. Like you can't doubt this guy. This guy, he goes in there the same all the time, no emotion, just trying to get the job done.
Yep.
I think his only decision fight was against, I think it was Ala Quinta.
Yeah.
And he still outclassed him. Like
now
Khabib,
after seeing Gaethje fight Khabib, is anyone really interested in seeing Ferguson fight Khabib anymore?
I don't think so. I think that died off. I think that died off.
That's done, right? Because
I think once he lost to Gaethje, that was it.
And he lost to Gaethje, and then look what Khabib did to Gaethje. Like in a round and a half. Like crazy, man. Like freaking crazy. I personally thought at first, I said, man, because listen, I always root for the American. Even though I like Khabib, no matter who's in that ring, if the American is fighting against a foreigner, I'm going to stick with the home team. I'm always going to go with the home team, even if I kind of like him or not. So I was going with Gaethje. Even though I respect Khabib and I really like his art, the way he fights, and the guy's a humble dude and all.
Yeah, definitely.
But then once I saw Khabib take him down the first time, I'm like, no, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting Khabib. I was expecting Gaethje to at least give him a harder time taking him down. But once he took him down, you saw Gaethje's face. Gaethje's face went like holy shit.
I can't do anything here.
Dude, that was crazy, man. I was like, okay. And at that moment, I had a post because I was being very vocal on Facebook. I was like, I think Gaethje's got this. I think Gaethje's got this. And once I saw Khabib take him down and control him on the floor, because I didn't think he was going to be able to control him because he was an elite wrestler, right? Well, that's what that's what they all told us.
Yeah.
Right? That's what
I heard he was NCAA. I don't know if he was D1 or anything, but I heard he was active with the NCAA wrestling team or something.
Yeah, man, that guy was a stud, dude. Guy was a stud. But again, that's all they told us, right? Of course, to make the fight a lot better. And for all of us as fans to think, is Khabib really going to lose? Is Khabib really going to lose? You know, and then once I saw it, I said, okay, Khabib's got this. It was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Just destroyed him. Do you really think he's retired, or do you think he's going to come back for one more?
Man, I want him to come back for one more to go 30-0, man. That'd be crazy, man. You know, but I don't think. I mean, from how he holds himself, you know, like he's not just he's not a prize fighter.
Money, right?
Yeah, he doesn't.
He's not a prize fighter. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, he's all for legacy, and he you know, he's down for his family.
I think this one fight that will bring him back out, and only because his dad always wanted to fight him, and that's GSP.
Yes, that just gave me goosebumps right now. You know,
dude, I don't think anybody else can get Khabib in the ring again except GSP, because there's no point. What's the point?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is gonna fight?
Yeah, no, there's no one. There's no one.
Mm-hmm. And nobody can really stand up to him at this point. Now, if Khabib and GSP was to happen, what weight class do you think they would have to, because I don't think GSP can come down to 155 anymore.
No, definitely. Khabib would probably have to move up weight, honestly.
What do you think, 160? You think that would be a good
I think they should meet at, I think they should meet at 160, 165, honestly. But,
160, 165, right?
Yeah, I don't think
GSP at 185?
He fought at 185 once, but that's not his natural weight class. His natural weight class is usually like the 170s. You know, that's where he fought like Penn, Matt Hughes, Matt Serra.
At 170, right?
Yeah, 170.
Do you think Khabib will come up to something like that, like at 165? Because 165 is only 5 pounds less. And GSP, dude, the guy's bulked up, man. So that's a lot. That's a lot of muscle. He doesn't have much fat to lose.
Yeah, definitely. I hear you on that.
It'll be hard.
Yeah, it'll be hard for him to make that fight. Honestly, now that you say it like that, you know, with GSP being all bulky and it's all muscle,
and
it'd be hard to lose that weight.
And older, you know, it's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot more difficult to lose weight when you're older. I think he's 39 or hitting 40. One or the other.
That's crazy, man. Jesus.
Man, now who would you have your money on that one? GSP?
Man, that's
a tough one, dude, right?
Yes, man, because I'm a GSP fan, man. GSP is like one of my idols that got me to do it, honestly. You know?
Two humble dudes too, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
there will be no trash talking in that fight.
Yeah,
there'll just be total mutual respect.
Nothing but respect. Exactly, nothing but respect. But
you know what? At this point, just having seen Khabib do what he did, fuck. I hate saying this, but I think I really love GSP. But it's a tough one. But I think if Khabib manages to get him down to the floor, Khabib will beat him. But GSP has amazing ground defense. Like, how many times has GSP been actually taken down? Like, not often.
He's never been taken down. Most of the fights you see him, he's usually on top, pounding, man. He's just like another Khabib.
And he's got that Superman jab.
Yeah.
He doesn't do the Superman punch. He does a Superman jab.
Yeah, that's another thing with Khabib, man. He needs to try to fight that kickboxing in GSP, man. People forget, like, GSP has some amazing kickboxing, and his boxing is good too.
Yeah, man.
He trained a couple of his careers with what's his name, Freddie Roach, and Freddie Roach has a whole bunch of champions underneath his belt.
That's right. You know? That's right. You know, I like Khabib's fighting style, but he has an awkward stand-up game. I don't know if you've seen it, like the way, like the way he lunges forward and leaves himself exposed a lot of the times with like that leaping. Like he tries to do kind of a Roy Jones Jr. leaping jab in, and it's crazy because I haven't seen many people capitalize on it, or everybody's so concerned of being taken down that they don't try to counter that punch. They're always waiting to be taken down because they know if they get taken down, they're fucked.
Yeah. Definitely, no, that definitely plays a big game, man. If you know someone's like that good at taking you down, you're gonna play your most hardest game not to get taken down. You're gonna focus on that the most, you know.
Yeah, you're not focused on that actual on that punching power, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Even though he knocked down Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
with a punch, man.
I remember that fight vividly, man. Like when he dropped Conor with that overhand or whatever, he threw a hook. I was like, no way. Though I think everyone at Buffalo Wild Wings was going wild, man. That thing was crazy, man.
Dude, it was freaking nuts the way he did that, man. Like, I wasn't expecting that, but fuck, man. What do you think about Hamzat Chimaev? He's fighting now Leon Edwards next.
And that guy's a beast too, man. I feel like all these guys from Dagestan,
They have a different mentality. They have a
yeah,
different
man.
mentality.
Their mentality level and the training level is on a different level. I think it's the altitude, you know.
The altitude or something.
The elevation levels, you know. I don't know the way they live out there. I guess too, you know. It could be I don't know. It could be anything.
I think it's so rough out there in those countries. You know, they've been war torn. You know, they've seen freaking death. They've seen this, that. It's just something in their brain, the mentality, the mindset in their mind where they just don't get, like, you see it in their eyes. Like, all right, you know what? I don't want to fight this dude. Like, this dude looks crazy, and he's gonna go out there, not fight me. He's gonna try to kill me.
Yeah, exactly. They're like Terminators, man. You look in their eye, man. They have that red sparkle, man.
Dude, and they just zoom in.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
just trying to zoom in on you. And once they catch off, I'm fucked. I'm screwed.
Exactly.
But if he loses, that fucking train is done.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, because there's
Chimaev.
a big hype train going on.
Dude, it's a crazy hype train. So that fight's coming up now, right? In November, is it? Or December?
I think, yeah, it's supposed to be coming soon. I was just scrolling on Instagram before I logged in, and I think I saw something about that. About Eves and
Leon Edwards and Chimaev. Now, do you now, you being that you fought before and you fought in a cage and stuff, do you feel like somebody like Leon Edwards, who's a ranked fighter, should be fighting somebody like Chimaev that's not a ranked fighter? Because technically Chimaev has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Whether he wins or loses, where if he wins, he's got everything to gain. But if he loses, he's still an unranked fighter. Now, Leon Edwards or Wonder Boy or any one of those top 10 guys, if they fight him, they have everything to lose and not much to win because they're still ranked. You know, would you do something like that if you were ranked? Would you go down and fight somebody, and just because it can take you out the rankings and your money can start going down because now you're not a top 5 dude anymore?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of, you know, you're gambling right there, honestly, you know, because you're fighting, you know, you always want to go to the top. You never want to go to the bottom, you know, unless, you know, they're talking about, I'm pretty sure they're talking about something money-wise, I'm guessing. But even then, it doesn't even look like it because no one really talks about Eve Edwards like that either, you know? Yeah. They're more talking about, you know.
Because, freak, I mean, you know the fight's going to bring in money. Because right now, so like you said, Chimaev, he's on that train that's just full steam ahead. And, like, I want to watch the fight. Like, I know I'm going to watch the fight just to see what Chimaev does. I'm not too concerned about Leon Edwards because Leon Edwards is not, even though he's a ranked fighter, he's not a famous dude that's gonna bring in those type of ratings.
Exactly. You know? He's not all there, man. Like at least like when it comes to like live you know, interviews, live fights, live television, he's not really an active person like that, you know? I feel like he's more active on social media than he is, you know, going into the, you know, to the live events.
I mean, look at this shit. Masvidal, our Florida native dude, right? He freaking, his pay-per-view fight against who was it? Usman.
Yeah.
That fight drew more pay-per-view buys than the Khabib Gaethje fight.
Yeah, that was
like, and Khabib, you know, is a champion, bro. And and he's going, and he was fighting to protect his record and his belt, you know, and still they're not bringing the amount of pay-per-view buys that Masvidal did.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine if Masvidal fights Colby Covington.
Yeah, that's gonna bring some revenue right there, man.
Because they already have history. Like, that's the fight to make, man. That's the fight to make right there, right?
Yeah, you know, I think they should have done either. You know, I think they should have, you know, put Eve Edwards against Shamaj. I can't even say his name right. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I don't think they should have done against him. I think they should have at least tried it with Masvidal, but, you know, I think that would have brought it in, because they both fought backstage. I think a while back
With
when
Leon Edwards, right? Yeah.
yeah.
See, that fight has history, but why would Masvidal fight him when it might?
Yeah.
The biggest fight there, the biggest fight that Masvidal can do, and I think Masvidal right now just became a prize fighter because even though he lost against Usman, I would still want to watch him fight.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like
for
I
sure.
don't think that loss affected his pedigree. I don't think it
No,
affected
no.
how much money, because if he fights, let's say he fights Colby Covington next, I'm gonna watch it because I like Masvidal, and Colby Covington have. But if Leon Edwards and Masvidal fight,
it's like
he
I
already
know,
punched him in the
what you're saying.
face. They can try to build it up that there was this feud behind the thing, but it's not as big. Now imagine a Conor McGregor versus Masvidal.
Man, that thing's gonna bring in money, man, like no tomorrow.
Dude,
they've been talking about that thing for a while too. I remember that first day you talked about it.
Now, do you think if Conor McGregor ever fights Masvidal, do you think they would fight for the BMF? Do you think Conor McGregor would want that belt?
I feel like the BMF is a stage right now. I feel like the BMF came from Nate Diaz. They hyped it up where it became its own belt. But I don't think it's like a division belt.
No,
I
it's
feel
not
like
a
it's more
division
like
belt. But do you think he would want it? Be like, you know what, motherfucker? I want that fucking belt because I'm the baddest motherfucker right now. I'm taking that shit away from you. Even though it doesn't have nothing to do with it. But do you think like Masvidal would be like, yeah, I'll put it on the line. I'll give it to you. Fuck it. I'll bring it in.
Yeah, I think Masvidal will put it on the line. He's game bred for a reason,
Yeah.
He's always game.
But that belt was never mentioned for the Usman fight. It was just for the title, right? Now, now here's a question for you. Now, you started your martial arts career down here in Florida. So I'm pretty sure you've probably crossed paths with either Masvidal or trainers of him and stuff like that.
Oh,
training
definitely.
down here in South Florida and stuff. But you're from LA. So when that Nate Diaz fight versus Masvidal, who were you rooting for, man? Who were you rooting for, dude?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I really ain't gonna lie, man. I was going for Stockton, man.
Yeah, you were going for Stockton?
But at the same time, I don't know, man. I was kind of, at the day of the fight, I remember I was going iffy at that point. Before the fight happened, I was like, yeah, I was Nate Diaz. At the moment of the fight, like, damn, man, Nate Diaz and Masvidal. I don't know, man. Like, I was going for Nate, but some sides of me was going for Masvidal as well.
Yeah.
There was mixed feelings about it. I can't lie. I can't say who I was going for. I can say who I was going before.
Yeah. But yeah, man. But he really he dogged him, dude. That whole fight,
no, he really did.
Like it was even though it got stopped, it was unanimously being won by Masvidal.
Oh, for sure,
across. There was no disputing that. Yeah, he got stopped, and usually Diaz comes in the later rounds, but dude, he put it on him, man. He really did. He put it on him, dude. It was crazy, dude. Now, would you ever go back to California now, especially with everything that's going on, or are you gonna stay in Florida?
Man, honestly, I might stay in Florida because I hear a lot of bad things going on in LA, at least with the cost of living out there.
Cost of living. I hear there's homeless people everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Fires.
There's this place called Skid Row. I heard that thing grew larger than it was when I was living out there. The homeless rate is at an all-time high out there. That's crazy, man.
And I know you like your guns, right? I know
you
like shooting.
Man. I ain't gonna lie. Yes, I do.
So going to California wouldn't be a good thing to do.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. Not in my opinion, I wouldn't go back just because of that. I like firearms, man. I don't even like because how the media portrays it.
I love firearms.
Love it. I like it, man.
Dude, I love them, and I come from New York, so before I came down to Florida, I was very anti-gun, and I used to say, you know what, if you need a gun, then that means you can't fight. But then once I got here, and I'm like, wait a minute, if there's 30 motherfuckers outside trying to get into my house,
you need something, man.
I can't, look, I could be a 3rd-degree black belt or not, and I can't fight 10 men regardless. I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter. You need to be able to defend yourself. Did you see what happened this morning in the New York City subway system? This homeless dude went ahead and just pushed a lady into an oncoming train.
Oh man, no, I didn't see that. No,
Dude,
I did not see that. That's crazy, man.
Can I put it on real quick so you
Yeah,
can see it?
yeah, definitely.
Watch this, dude. It's freaking crazy. Watch. There you go.
We want to begin with that disturbing video from Union Square. A man runs towards a woman on the platform and shoves her onto the tracks right in front of an oncoming train.
Somehow she's okay. Lucky to be alive.
She's okay. She's look at this, man.
Man, that's
freaking crazy, man.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. God was definitely on your side that day.
Dude, wow. I mean, that's something when I grew up in New York City, and every time I would take the New York City subway train and I stood next to the edge, I was always looking around. I was
definitely
like, because you never know that in a place that has 9 million people all stacked into a city, there's gonna be a loony somewhere.
Oh no, for sure.
There's gonna be a lunatic somewhere, man. That's up to no good. I mean, the guy was a homeless dude. He was probably doing something like that just to get into jail so he can get some food and shelter.
Oh yeah,
who
definitely.
Knows, right?
Yeah, shelter and all that good stuff.
But dude, man, it's like you have like I don't know why people are just. Some people are just not aware of their surroundings. Like I know everybody that's around me. I know, or it must be a martial arts thing.
No, it's definitely that, or like. You know, like we're just more aware than others. You know, like me, man. I used to have a problem with people being behind my back when I would go to work. You know, I'm like, man, get off of me, man. Like, why you so close? You know,
and especially now, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't.
Listen, man. If now somebody sneezes on you, can that be assault?
I would say it as because
it can either kill you or it can kill a member of your family.
Yeah,
if you get sick.
Yes, but yeah, exactly. Especially with the whole COVID stuff going on, man. Yeah, I would say
it's assault. Like if somebody coughs in your face, can you punch him in the face now? Because technically, you just put my life at jeopardy. You put any member of my family's lives at jeopardy, or any one of my friends' lives at jeopardy. Like it's crazy, man. Like COVID changed everything when it comes down to stuff like that, you know?
No, for sure, man. Yeah. No, definitely. It definitely has, man. And yeah, lately I've been paranoid of people too, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm not trying to be greedy or anything. Sometimes I kind of don't believe the whole COVID thing, but then I do, you know, like I'm like in and out with it. But at the same time, man, I'm paranoid of people right now.
Well, I've had friends who've had COVID, and some friends fared off very well. I know friends whose parents died from COVID. Matter of fact, I went to Home Depot a couple of weeks ago, and there was a blood donation truck right outside Home Depot. And I say, hey, you know what? Let me get, and they said, we'll donate blood and we'll check you for antibodies to COVID. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'll do it. I wanted to donate blood anyway. They pricked my finger. They checked. Dude, I had the antibodies. That means I caught COVID and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've caught it before, you know.
Well, if you go to one of those blood banks and you want to donate blood, you can get the test for free, and they'll tell you if you have the antibodies. So if you've gotten it, you'll have the antibodies on you.
Oh no! Wow.
So that's something you can do. I mean, I don't think every blood donation thing is actually doing it, but they may have to do it because they want to know if you have the antibodies. If you have the antibodies, then that blood is going to be used to help people who have COVID now.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
They can use those antibodies. But I checked, man, and it was freaking dope, man. I was shocked at first because I've done everything I followed all the guidelines, like social distancing, no eating out. I don't go to parties. I don't do any of that stuff. I shut down my business for 3 months. Matter of fact, I had to shut it down completely. And it sucks, but shit happens, right? And you just got to keep.
Yeah, that's life, man.
You're a martial artist. You got to keep flowing. You got to keep bobbing with those.
Go with the punches.
You got to go with the punches. You can't just stay there and start keep getting hit, you know. But you may want to do that, dude, because a lot of people think they've had it. And the funny thing is that my wife went 3 days ago to donate blood, and she checked her antibodies, and she came back negative. But I had them.
Yeah, no, definitely. I had my half brother came out here from Arkansas, and before he had to go back to work or go back to Arkansas, his job demanding him to get a COVID testing because with the spikes in Florida, they want to know if he's COVID free. And my dad and my half brother did it, and they came out clean, and which I'm surprised, because we're, I'm not gonna lie, man, me and my family, we're big, we like to explore a lot of things. Like we go to Keys, go eat, go fishing, we do all that stuff. So I'm surprised we didn't have it.
Where it's going up a lot up in the north, like North Dakota, South Dakota, but it's understandable. It's fucking 20 degrees up there, man. Like who's doing outdoor activities in 20-degree weather? Who's opening up windows to let cold air in? No, everything people are doing up in the north is indoors. You can't do it outdoors. It's freezing, dude. It's freezing. But dude, listen, Vinny, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, man. It was great just talking crap with you and doing this. We got to do it again.
No, definitely. I'm so down with this, man.
And once you do your podcast, I'm definitely going to be on it. If you invite me on, we'll have a great time,
man. That's
doing
without a doubt.
But thank you, dude, for coming by. It was interesting hearing your take on certain things and just talking shit with you, man. It was pretty dope. I wish you nothing but the best, good health. And if we fight again, of course, the best of luck there. And send me the invite. I'll be sure to be up there rooting for you, brother. Definitely.
Likewise, my brother, man. It was awesome being on the podcast, man. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Excellent, brother. All right. And peace. We're out.